What's happening, YouTube? It's Steve from Drifter Gaming here again today, and this time I'm bringing you a video. It's going to be slightly different to what I usually do. Usually I just do review videos. This time it's going to be me discussing my thoughts on Halo Gone and the PlayStation now. It was announced a couple of weeks ago. Obviously it was going to get ported over to PlayStation with the remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved. They're now calling it Halo Campaign Evolved. Obviously, quite catchy. Um, and yeah, obviously, I'm a long time Halo fan. I'm a long time Xbox fan. I'm not a fanboy of either console. I'm lucky enough to have been able to play PlayStation for every iteration of console, and the same with Xbox. I own an Xbox Series X. I own a PlayStation 5. I own a Nintendo Switch too, and I'm very lucky I'm in a privileged position I can do that. Now, for me personally, I think it's a bad move. I think it looks very, very poor on Microsoft. I don't understand why they've done it. I don't understand why they're so adamant they no longer want to really be competitive within the console market. Why they're trying to remove themselves from it. I think there's a place there for them. I think there's a very, very big spot there for them. The companies they've bought, Bethesda, obviously you've got Activision, etc. They're bringing out likes of Call of Duty. You've got the likes of the Elder Scrolls 6 on the way. You have Fallout 5 eventually. And then, yeah, of course, getting back to the obvious, you have Halo, you've got Gears of War, and you've got Forza. Gears of War E-Day is going to be going on to PlayStation next year. We've just had Gears of War Reloaded back in August, and then Forza Horizon Japan has been announced. It's going to be coming to PlayStation straight away as well. Now, for me personally, I do not understand why they are so adamant they want to keep themselves out of the console market. I don't. Why they want to bring Halo into PlayStation. I love my PlayStation. I do. I've loved every PlayStation since the PS1, but at no point ever would I want to see God of War go onto Xbox. No more than I want to see Halo onto PlayStation. Halo is symbolic for what Xbox is, for what Xbox did for gaming back in the early 2000s. I was very lucky and privileged, probably the peak time of video games for me personally, to grow up when Halo was coming out. I remember I didn't have a launch Xbox. I didn't get one probably until I think it was 2003. I got my Xbox, but I would go around my best mate's house pretty much every day when it came out. Halo, played Blood Gulch, I believe it was called. I would go and play that every day. Um, with my best mate. We'd go through the campaign co-op. We would do it in Legendary. We would spend hours upon hours on it. I would go home and beg my dad for it. Eventually, he caved in and he got it for me. In 2003. A year later, obviously the hype for Halo 2. Everyone was excited for it. Obviously, I was too young at the time. I was only probably about 13. Mate, I think I might have just turned 14 actually. Where we lived, it was too remote to be able to get into a town centre to go and do a midnight release. But yeah, my mum and dad got me Halo 2 for Christmas, and I remember when it came from Amazon, it came on release day. Um, I remember begging my mum and my dad, "Can I have it now? Can I have it now?" And they made me wait. I remember get opening it up on launch day, and sorry, not launch day, on Christmas day, and that's all I did all day was play Halo 2. All I did was play Halo 2. So invested in it. Loved the campaign. Um, had so much fun on it, and again, on Boxing Day, went round my best mate's house, played Halo 2 all day, and that's just what we did. We played it consistently. A few years later, obviously Halo 3 came out. I just left school. I had to wait a few months after Halo 3 had launched before I could get an Xbox 360. I wasn't lucky enough to be able to get one at launch. My mum and dad couldn't afford to get me one. I had to wait a couple of years to get it, which was fine. It wasn't the end of the world. And I remember when I did manage to get Halo 3, and it was just incredible. The final mission, that obviously you got the music blaring, da 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 da, and it's so good, it's so good, and it's just a memory that will live rent free in my mind until the day I depart this planet. It was just such a good time and such a good experience. And then obviously we had Reach, we had ODST, which I was never really a big fan of. Still, I'm not a big fan of it to this day. Hey, Bungie then decided not to make any more Halo games. They left the franchise, and then it was basically 343. I've enjoyed 343's Halos. They're nowhere near the level of what obviously Bungie were producing, but they're still good fun games. The multiplayers are still good as well. Um, I'll go back and play the Master Chief Collection at least once every sort of year. Just to obviously get that nostalgia feeling again. Halo Infinite came out a few years back. I enjoyed Halo Infinite. Thought Halo Infinite was a good game. It's just unfortunately had a bit of a botched launch. It didn't really launch in the best of states with obviously the content that was promised. If it launched as it is now, then again you'd have probably had an 8 or 9 out of 10 game. It's 343's best Halo in a by a distance. It really was. And now obviously we're on the cusp of getting Halo Combat Evolved next year, which it looks good. Obviously, it's a typical Unreal Engine 5 game. That looks beautiful. How well it runs or not, that's obviously anybody's guess. But it looks good. So it beggars to me why they want to put Halo on the PlayStation. For me personally, and I might be alone in thinking this, and if I am, feel free to shoot me down in the comments. But I really do believe the games that Xbox have brought out over the last year, you've got Indiana Jones, you've got Doom, you've got Avowed, you've just had the Outer Worlds 2. There's so many games that are coming out now. They own the IP to Call of Duty. There are games coming out now that people will buy an Xbox for. You've also got Fable coming out next year. You've got obviously Halo Combat Evolved coming out next year. You've got the new Gears coming out next year, which looks like it's going to be brilliant. Dom's back, and obviously Marcus Phoenix, etc. It's for me personally, I do not understand why they are so hell bent on taking Xbox out of the console space, or sorry, releasing a hybrid PC in console. I just generally don't understand it. I really don't. I believe there's enough that they're bringing out and they're producing, especially the studios that they've brought rather. Like, why wouldn't you want to take? Why wouldn't you want to keep faith within your company that you will become the leading console? Because let's be honest, PlayStation this generation haven't exactly been great for PlayStation 5 exclusives. There's been a lot of cross-gen games and a lot of games that have been ported to PC straight away. So again, it for me personally, there's games that are coming out. You've also got Halo. You've also got the Elder Scrolls 6 on the horizon. That should be in the next couple of years. You've then got Fallout 5 that will come out after that. So there's games that are coming out that would sell your console. They would sell your console now. The Xbox 360 generation was incredible. We had the Mass Effect trilogy, we had the Gears of War trilogy, we had the Halo trilogy, we had the Batman trilogy. There was so many games, even believe it or not, we actually had two Grand Theft Autos within the space of a couple of years. So there were games there. It's just it seems to have tailored off now, and it's gone to a point where we have to wait 6 7 years before a game comes out, and it's obviously it's not what Microsoft want to do. They want to put all of their games onto PlayStation. They want to put a couple onto Switch, and it's the route that they're going down. But for me personally, it's really sad to see Microsoft leaving the console space, and for me personally, it's very worrying what's going to actually happen with PlayStation moving forward and Nintendo moving forward. Because if that competition is not there for Microsoft, how good are the games going to be? Fair enough, Nintendo might be the exception because their first party games are always, for the most part, really good. They are just a law to their own. Like Nintendo, they always seem to produce really good games. Obviously Mario, Donkey Kong, etc. PlayStation is the one that worries me now. The PlayStation 2 was an incredible console. Um, but then Sony got lazy after the PlayStation 2, released the PS3, released it at such a high price that people couldn't really afford it, but also developers would struggle to make games for it. People forget that. Developers actually did struggle to make games for the PS3 and it was easier for them to make it on the Xbox 360. So what's to say that PlayStation don't go back to that and Sony don't decide to drop the ball again? And this is what a lot of people forget, and there's a lot of people rejoicing and laughing and taking the piss right now, but people forget how quickly things change. And if it goes down that route, then let's be honest, gaming's not exactly wonderful at the moment as it is. We've got a lot of games that come out broken, not finished, that take 6 months to a year before they can finally patch them up. Yes, mine's eye, I'm looking at you. Um, so it's one of these that I think people forget that this is where we're potentially heading, and it's really not a nice place to be going to. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to make this a long video, and I don't want to rant and obviously start just venting. I really don't. I just wanted to, like I say, just give a brief overview of my history of Halo, why it means so much to me, and why I'm generally gutted to see it go on the PlayStation because I don't think it's needed. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are on it. If you agree with what Xbox are doing, if you think it's a smart choice what Xbox are doing, if you're gutted what Xbox are doing, because again, people forget that I was in a, for me personally, when the Xbox Series X was coming out, I had a lengthy discussion with my partner because I was definitely getting the PlayStation 5 after how good the PS4 was. But after the lack of games on the Xbox One, I was very much undecided. Do I want to get an Xbox Series X? And then I think we got a trailer from Microsoft, and they were showing loads of different games and Phil Spencer. And again, I'm a mug that believed everything that Phil Spencer said, that yeah, Xbox is going to be coming out, Series X is going to be coming out. Sorry, there's going to be so many good games for it, etc., etc. Yeah, there's so many good games for it, but where are the exclusives? You see where I'm coming from? Where are the actual console exclusives that make me want to buy an Xbox? Because there aren't any. There aren't any actual current Xbox exclusives that make me go, yeah, I'm buying an Xbox. Because I can get them on PlayStation. I might have to wait a few months later, but I can get them on PlayStation, and that's what frustrates the life out of me. And it's a sad state to see, obviously, where they've gone to effectively. But like I say, I'm not gonna harp on and make this a very long, lengthy video. Thanks for listening to my thoughts on it. Let me know down below, obviously, your thoughts are. Like I say, it might be different. You might have obviously different thoughts to me. You might be happy with what they're doing. You might not care. You might be eyeing up that platinum trophy on PlayStation. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me know down below, guys, what you think. And until next time, take it easy.